All right, I'm sure y'all notice, you know, everything that been jumping off lately. All that, noise about. Matter of fact, let me find an article for y'all. It's funny how, we have police officers, you know, people that's supposed to be upholding the law and protecting the citizens, yet they show a lot of discrimination and, they do a lot of unaliving of a certain demographic type of people, if you feel what I'm saying. And we never hear no fight back. We don't hear no outrage. We don't never hear none of that. But the moment, it become political, that's when you got, you know, what they call it, the right saying, oh, the left did this. And then you got the left saying, oh, the right did that. It's all a delusion, bro. Like when I tell you all that stuff go on just for one, to divide, and two, to conquer. So whenever you hear all this outrage of, you know, what I gotta say is nonsense because it's something that we already know that's already been dealt, that's happening daily. It's nothing new under the sun type situation. You feel me? So it's like I'm not ready to sit here enjoying this outrage of like, oh my gosh, you know, uh, this and that happening. That's what we not ready to do. We need to get down to the nitty gritty. You know. But look, so I'm on Facebook, and I'm strolling. I'm strolling, and basically what I see, oh man, hold on, cause I think yo took it down. Yeah, buddy blocked me for real. But I think I screenshotted it. It's in my other phone now. But buddy blocked me. So all right, so I got it all pulled up. All right, so basically what I was saying was, I'm on Facebook scrolling. I get to see, um, you know, the post that he shared. So the post that he shared was basically saying, breaking leftist anti-hate group paid white supremacists to plan infamous Charlotte Charlottesville rally. Um, you know, and then who shares it? Ben Shapiro. So if you know about Cho, Yo tied in with the Jews. You feel what I'm saying? Matter of fact, I'm gonna cut that out anyway. Yo, cause you know how the videos be. They'll flag me and take it off. But look, he tied in with the J's, you know, and he spread false propaganda. He spread false news, throughout his whole channel. So look, he says an informant who was paid by the SPLC to help white supremacists plan the infamous 2017 Unite the Right rally in Charlottesville, Virginia. So you know how Trump people be. They see stuff like that and they, automatically, it's the left. The left did this. Oh, it's dumb people. Like, So here, this dude is a pastor. You feel me? So he say in his post, he shared a message and say, "Oh, don't let them divide us." Okay, I agree with you. Don't let them divide us. You feel me? I'm with you on that. Then he say, "The left is trying to play us." Okay, so your first message, don't let them divide us. Then your second message is, the left is trying to play us. Who is us? And now you contradicting yourself because you saying the left is trying to divide us. So now you putting blame on a whole group of people or group of whatever that you labeling as the left. And we not, if you smart, you know what the left is. So now you got the Democrats and the Republicans. Democrats is the left, Republicans is the right. So now you in a situation to where as though you are dividing us. You get what I'm saying? So you can't be contradictive. So, I see that, I laughed. So I laughed at the post because me, I find it funny, for one, that the post was about don't let them divide us, but then you saying the left is trying to play us. You should have just left it as don't let us divide us. And I probably wouldn't have laughed. You feel me? I probably would have liked the post, won't, because I'm not saying the Democratic Party do not be on some, you know, fishy stuff. You feel me? You smelling what I'm saying? I'm not saying that at all because I know left and right, Democrat and Republican, is not morally corrected. They all be corrupted. So I'm not going to put I'm not going to choose the lesser evil. I'm not going to put one blame on one group and raise one group up. So, I laughed at that. He added me, mind you. I left that alone. This probably was like 2 days ago, or whatever. So, he added me. Which part is funny? Oh, do you enjoy division and focus on skin more than sin? So I read that. And I'm like, what, bro? Like, what you talking about, cuz? Like, what? So I'm laughing at the fact that you said this post is division, but yet you continue the division by saying the left is trying to play us. You know, I let them know like all that left and right stuff I don't be getting into. But yeah, I found it funny. But on a serious note, I do agree that both parties is trying to divide us. Clearly, that's something that we didn't agree on because he's saying the left is trying to divide us. Me, I said, you know, both sides be trying to divide us. Us as in citizens of United States of America. Even outside of America, they still trying to divide. So I just said, I do agree that both parties try to divide us. Just to, bring some friendliness into the situation. So, I say that. And then I also say, you know, I say I do agree that both parties try to divide people. That's why I don't even get into. All right, my fault about that. So where I was left off at. All right, so I'm like, so to be clear, you know, I wasn't even focusing on skin. You know, I don't know if you know, but I let them know like, my son is biracial. In fact, I got 3 kids, that's biracial. You know, my sister is biracial. So why would I be trying to focus on lifting up one skin and you know, putting down one? So, I said my focus is on truth and God's words, you know. So I guess he hear that and then his reply. Now this way the dude get emotional. He took what I said and then he just got emotional with it. And I have a sister that is mixed. I don't use the color biracial because there is only one race. Bro, like it's people like that take me out of character, bro. Like I'm gonna continue reading this comment though, but it's people like that, bro. How do these people be trying to like like preach the name of God, say God's words, but you so delusional in life. Like you can't be a leader and you ain't leading in all aspects. Like anyway, because I'm not a judge. You feel me? All I can do is pray for the brother. But anyway, you know, he say, it's only one race. He put that in all caps. You need to stop acting like we are different races. We are the same race. If you find it funny that the left is paying hate groups to stir the pot, you need to look at your heart. Lastly, how come you only pop up on my page to provocate, to be provocative, whatever he trying to say? I have liked some pics of yours in the past and just scroll past some stuff I didn't quite agree with. Yet, it feels like you only like to disagree with me. LOL. I'm gonna block you if you keep it up. I said, yeah, clearly what I said, went over your head. Stop being emotional. What I said was valid. You picking a side and blaming another side is contradicting yourself. And when you speaking on division, you brought race into this. I wasn't even worrying about that. And yeah, we are one race. We come from the same atom. So, that I do agree with. I never never disagree with that. We come from the same Adam. When God made Adam from dirt, you know, we all stemmed from him. You know, so hear this: just because you have that thinking and we know that truth, that don't mean that in today's world we, you know, be blind to the fact that we are different colors and the life that we live in today's world, we are judged by that. We are condemned by that in some way. You know, all that stuff do matter at this point. So we gotta put into consideration and you know, like y'all smelling what I'm saying, bro? Do y'all smell what I'm saying? Like be real, bro. You can't be out here blind and blind to the fact that it is police officers out here harming people my color. You feel me? And then that's just like me. I'm not gonna be blind to the fact that it's some crazy Hebrew Israelites out there that think, because the person is white, they of the devil. That's nonsense. Like no one, like I don't got that thinking. I'm just real with my thinking. You know, I'm not gonna be one sided. I'm not gonna act like life don't like I'm not living this life. You feel me? I'm not gonna act like 100 years ago, 50 years ago, 40 years ago, 30 years ago, you know, it wasn't trials and tribulations that it still is for a certain demographic. You feel me? You smelling what I'm saying? Like, come on, bro, be real. So look, so he continued. Oh yeah, yeah. So I'm like, you know, so when you speaking on the vision, you brought races that I wasn't even worrying about that. Boom, boom, boom. We are the same. Rich came trying to say Adam. And sir, you added me. All I did was laugh at the post, not at you. Again, don't be caught up being emotional and speak out of pocket. And bro, it's okay to disagree and agree. I don't find nothing wrong with that. That's what you call life. And that's facts. That's what you call life. You're gonna agree and disagree with some people. But that don't mean, act irrational. That don't mean, you gotta I get it though. Protect your peace. If a person not bringing you peace into your life, but at the same time, bro, if you're a leader, you gotta take some words with consideration and evaluate yourself.